Hello, Namaskar. This is CDR English, and it's time to roll the world primetime headlines with me, Anukriti Sharma. OBC delegation from Telangana protest outside AICC over demanding for caste census in Telangana. UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath held a meeting on the occasion of the presentation of Higher Education Promotion Policy. BSF issues high alert along India-Bangladesh border in Kosh, Bihar. Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami conducts an aerial survey of the areas affected by heavy rains. An OBC delegation from Telangana staged a protest outside the All India Congress Committee or the AICC headquarters, advocating for a caste census in Telangana state. The demonstration underscored their demand for accurate data collection on caste demographics, aiming to address the socio-economic disparities and ensure equitable representation. Now, this protest highlights the ongoing discussions and the activism surrounding the caste-based policies and data collection efforts in the region, reflecting the community's push for inclusive governance and data transparency. Here's a report.
वादी लोकल इलेक्शंस तेलंगाना में लगाना
बस है मैं बीसी कुंदारम गणेशाचार्य बीसी कुल संघाला जेसी चेयरमैन है और राहुल गांधी जोड़ो यात्रा वो टाइम पे हमारे कामारेड्डी मीटिंग में बोले साहब 42% रिजर्वेशन दे तुम बोल के बोले थे, अभी तक नहीं दिया। और रेवंत रेड्डी की बोलना राहुल गांधी बात उधर नहीं चल रहे। राहुल गांधी बोलना बोल के मैं इतना दूर आया साहब। मैं और हैदराबाद से दिल्ली का बहुत आदमी है, वो 300 आदमी 400 आदमी तक आके बैठे। मैं इधर बहुत प्रॉब्लम कर रहे हैं। मैं आंध्र में तेलंगाना में हमारा रिजर्वेशन होना वो 70 करोड़ का आदमी का प्रॉब्लम है साहब। ये भारत में 70 करोड़ का आदमी का बीसी लोगों का पूरा प्रॉब्लम है। ये प्रॉब्लम क्लियर करने को मेरी राहुल गांधी उनको समझाना रेवंत रेड्डी की।
क्या नाम है आपका?
కుల్కచర్ల శ్రీనివాస్ తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర బీసీ సంక్షేమ సంఘం కార్యనిర్వాహక అధ్యక్షులు। ఈరోజు తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో ఏదైతే కాంగ్రెస్ పార్టీ కులగణన చేస్తామని చెప్పి హామీ ఇచ్చిందో ఆ హామీ మేరకు మరి తెలంగాణలో ఉన్నటువంటి ప్రభుత్వం కులగణన మీద నిరుత్సాహంగా నిర్లక్ష్యంగా చేయడం వల్ల ఈరోజు ఢిల్లీలోని ఏఐసిసి కార్యాలయాన్ని ముట్టడించడం జరిగింది। ఈరోజు మేము ఒకటే డిమాండ్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నాం, రాహుల్ గాంధీ గారు ఏదైతే హామీ ఇచ్చారో మేము కులగణన చేస్తాం దేశవ్యాప్తం అని చెప్పి కులగణన చేస్తామని చెప్పి హామీ ఇచ్చారో ఆ హామీని తెలంగాణలో నెరవేర్చి మీ హామీ నిలబెట్టుకోవాలని చెప్పి మేము డిమాండ్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నాం। ఎందుకంటే తెలంగాణలో స్థానిక సంస్థల ఎన్నికలు, సర్పంచ్ ఎన్నికలు, ఎంపీటీసీ ఎన్నికలు, జెడ్పీటీసీ ఎన్నికలు, మరి మున్సిపాలిటీ ఎన్నికలు నిర్వహించాలని చెప్పి రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం ఏదైతే ప్రయత్నాలు చేస్తున్నదో ఆ ప్రయత్నాలు మేము అందరం కూడా అడ్డుకుంటా ఉన్నాం। అందుకే తెలంగాణలో జరిగే స్థానిక ఎన్నికలను వాయిదా వేసి మరి తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో కులగణన చేపట్టాలని చెప్పి కూడా మేము డిమాండ్ చేస్తూ కులగణనతో పాటు ఎందుకంటే బీసీలకు రావాల్సినటువంటి హక్కులను చట్టసభల్లో బీసీలకు రిజర్వేషన్లు కావాలని చెప్పి బీసీలకు ప్రత్యేక మంత్రిత్వ శాఖ కావాలని చెప్పి మరి కేంద్రంలో ప్రధాన ప్రతిపక్షమైన రాహుల్ గాంధీ గారు మరి పార్లమెంట్లో పోరాటం చేయాలని చెప్పి మేము డిమాండ్ చేస్తూ అదే విధంగా ఏదైతే చట్టసభల్లో బీసీ మహిళ సపోర్ట్ కల్పించారో ఎందుకంటే ఎన్డీఏ ప్రభుత్వం చట్టసభల్లో బీసీ మహిళలకు సభ్యత్వం తీసుకొచ్చింది కాబట్టి అందులో బీసీ మహిళ సపోర్ట్ కావాలని చెప్పి కూడా డిమాండ్ చేస్తూ ఈరోజు ఏఐసిసి కార్యాలయాన్ని ముట్టడించడం జరుగుతుంది। తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో రేవంత్ రెడ్డి గారికి మరి రాహుల్ గాంధీ గారు సూచన చేయాలి, తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో బీసీ కులగణన
MLA Komati Reddy Rajgopal Reddy participated in the Swachhadanam Pachchadanam program organized at the Zilla Parishad High School in the Nalagonda district of Chandur municipality. The MLA inspected the midday meal arrangements in the government school and as a part of the Amrit scheme the foundation stone was laid for the construction of 2 drinking water tanks with a capacity of 5 lakh litres in Chandur. MLA Rajgopala Reddy ordered the officials to complete the construction of the sewers in Chandur and the Chautupal municipalities. He emphasized that there is no need to compromise in the matters of these developments.
ప్రజల ఆశీస్ దివాలు ఉంటే అయితం కానీ ఏదైనా అది ప్రజల కోసమే ప్రజల పక్షాన్నే పోరాటం చేస్తా కాబట్టి తప్పకుండా ఈ మునుగోడు నియోజకవర్గాన్ని అభివృద్ధి చేయాల్సిన బాధ్యత నా మీద మీ అందరి మీద ఉన్నది. మన అందరం కలిసికట్టుగా ఈ నియోజకవర్గాన్ని నేను ఎప్పుడు అంటున్నా మునుగోడు అంటే ఈ భారతదేశంలో తెలియని వ్యక్తి లేడు. ఉన్నారు ఎవరన్నా? మునుగోడుకున్నంత ప్రాముఖ్యత మునుగోడులో జరిగిన కురుక్షేత్రం భారతదేశ చరిత్రలో రాలే. ఒక వ్యక్తి కోసం 100 మంది కౌరవులు వచ్చిండ్రు. ఒక వ్యక్తిని ధర్మయుద్ధంలో చంపుతందుకు 100 మంది కౌరవులు వచ్చిండ్రు. కానీ ఏమైంది? మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడు ధర్మమే గెలిచింది. ఎప్పుడైనా చరిత్రలో ధర్మమే గెలుస్తుంది. ఒక టెంపరీగా కొన్ని రోజుల పాటు అధర్మం పరిపాలిస్తుంది కానీ చివరకు ధర్మం గెలుస్తుందని చెప్పి మునుగోడులో రుజువు చేసిండ్రు ప్రజలు. కాబట్టి మునుగోడు నియోజకవర్గాన్ని అన్ని రంగాల్లో ముఖ్యంగా చండూరు పట్టణం అయితే నేను మొదటి నుంచి చెప్తున్నా, నాకు ఎందుకో చండూరు పట్టణంలో పర్సనల్ అటాచ్మెంట్ ఉంది. ఎంతో అభిమానం, ప్రేమ. నేను ఇక్కడ ప్రజలను చూసిన, నేను ఎంతో మంది మహిళలు నేను ఎప్పుడు ప్రోగ్రాం పెట్టినా.
Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami undertook an aerial survey of the rain-affected areas in Rudraprayag, assessing the extent of damage and the impact on the local communities. This proactive inspection follows the heavy rains that have caused significant disruptions and concerns about the potential hazards such as landslides and floods in this region. Dhami's visit aimed to evaluate the immediate needs of those who were affected and to coordinate the rescue and the relief efforts immediately and effectively. The Chief Minister's presence underscores the state government's commitment to responding swiftly to natural disasters and also ensuring the safety and the well-being of the residents of Uttarakhand. Delhi Minister and Aam Aadmi Party leader Saurabh Bharadwaj has accused the Health Department of filing a false affidavit in the High Court, allegedly ignoring the recommendations from the Serene Committee which was ordered by the court. Bharadwaj has expressed his disbelief over the authenticity of this affidavit, claiming that his name was falsely implicated in this document regarding pending files that never reached him. He pointed fingers at the LG, his lawyer and the health secretary, accusing them of conspiring to sabotage the healthcare initiatives in Delhi and tarnishing his reputation with fabricated court filings. These allegations highlight the ongoing tensions and accusations within Delhi's administrative and legal spheres. Here's a report.
देखिए, एक तो हाईकोर्ट ने अपनी पहल पे एक कमेटी बनाई, सरीन कमेटी, और उस सरीन कमेटी ने बहुत अच्छे रिकमेंडेशन दिए, यानी कि अस्पतालों के अंदर दवाइयाँ 2 महीने का स्टॉक उपलब्ध हो, सीपीई के अंदर 6 महीने का स्टॉक उपलब्ध हो, दवाइयाँ अस्पतालों में, मोहल्ला क्लिनिकों में उपलब्ध हों, डॉक्टरों की भर्ती अगर आप यूपीएससी से नहीं कर पा रहे तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पे भर्ती कर लें, और इन सिफारिशों को पूरा करने के आदेश हाईकोर्ट ने दिए। इन सिफारिशों को पूरा करने के विपरीत स्वास्थ्य विभाग ने हाईकोर्ट के अंदर झूठा हलफनामा दाखिल किया, और ताकि मैं इसको वेरीफाई ना कर सकूं इसलिए इस हलफनामे को मुझसे अप्रूव नहीं कराया गया। स्वास्थ्य सचिव ने खुद उसको अप्रूव कर दिया, और क्योंकि दिल्ली सरकार के जो स्टैंडिंग काउंसिल है, एडिशनल स्टैंडिंग काउंसिल है, वो एक झूठा हलफनामा दायर नहीं करते, वो पूछते कि मिनिस्टर का अप्रूवल क्यों नहीं है। इसीलिए एलजी साहब के अधीन आने वाले सर्विसेज डिपार्टमेंट की स्टैंडिंग काउंसिल के थ्रू उस हलफनामे को हाई कोर्ट के अंदर दाखिल कर दिया गया। तो पहली बात तो झूठ, कोर्ट को गुमराह करना, और वो भी किस कीमत पे? मरीजों की कीमत पे, ताकि मरीजों को दवाई ना मिल सके। ये षड्यंत्र ये। दूसरा, उस हलफनामे में 2 जगह मेरा नाम लिखा गया कि ये 2 फाइलें मंत्री के पास पेंडिंग है, जो कि मैंने उस लॉ डिपार्टमेंट को अपने नोट में लिखा है कि ये फाइल कभी मेरे पास आई ही नहीं, और दूसरी फाइल के विषय में मेरा फैसला कब का जा चुका है। तो षड्यंत्र किया जा रहा है एलजी द्वारा, जो उनके डिपार्टमेंट हैं, उनकी वकील और जो स्वास्थ्य सचिव हैं, इनके द्वारा कि दिल्ली को बीमार रखा जाए और मेरे खिलाफ जो है झूठी चीजें जो है कोर्ट के अंदर डाली जाए।
आपने जो आरोप लगाया कि दिल्ली है डॉक्टर्स, तो उस पे बीते दिनों जो आपने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस की केजरीवाल ऑफिस की तरफ से आया कि एनसीसीएसए की मीटिंग नहीं हुई, इसलिए कोई वैकेंसी अभी निकाली नहीं जा सकती है, भर्ती हो नहीं सकती और सीएम नहीं है।
एलजी साहब पूरा झूठ बोल रहे हैं। मैं उन्हें चुनौती देता हूं, आए और मेरे साथ किसी भी मंच पे, सार्वजनिक मंच पे आए और आप आमने सामने बात करें। डॉक्टरों की भर्ती के लिए एनसीसीएसए का कोई लेना देना नहीं है। डॉक्टरों की भर्ती कॉन्ट्रेक्चुअल एम्प्लॉय के तौर पे आपको करनी है, आप वो करना ही नहीं चाहते। देखिए, एक तो
Uttar Pradesh's Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath presided over a crucial meeting that focused on the presentation of the Higher Education Promotion Policy. Now, this gathering aimed to deliberate on the strategies and the initiatives aimed at advancing higher educational standards across the state of Uttar Pradesh. The policy presentation likely encompassed key areas such as infrastructure development, academic reforms, faculty enhancement, and student welfare measures. Adityanath's leadership in this meeting underscores the state government's commitment to improving the educational outcomes and also fostering a conducive environment for learning and research in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Discussions and decisions made during this meeting are expected to shape future educational policies and initiatives in the state. Down south in India, during the Mysuru Chalo Padyatra in Karnataka's Mandya, State BJP MLC C.T. Ravi made scathing remarks about the Karnataka Congress government, labeling it as the most corrupt in the entire country. Now, Ravi alleged that corruption thrives under the leadership of the Chief Minister, likening Karnataka to an ATM bank for the Congress party. His comments reflect the BJP's strong criticism of the ruling party's governance and ethics, aiming to galvanize support ahead of the upcoming political engagements in the state. Here's a report.
हर
हर पोजीशन को रेट फिक्स किया है। रेट दिए तो आपको जगह मिलेगा, नहीं है तो नहीं मिलेगा। मोस्ट करप्ट गवर्नमेंट इन आवर कंट्री कर्नाटका कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट। स्वयं सीएम उसका लीडरशिप कर रहा है, करप्शन का लीडरशिप सीएम का। पैसा जाता है कांग्रेस पार्टी को, एटीएम के जैसे। कर्नाटक कांग्रेस पार्टी का एटीएम है, यहाँ लूटता है, पैसा बांटता है। सेंट्रल कांग्रेस पार्टी को पैसा बांटता है।
सर, आज मंड्या में जन आंदोलन कर रहे हैं कांग्रेस के सीएम और कांग्रेस के लीडर, उसके बारे में क्या कहोगे? सरकार के खिलाफ?
कौन सा सरकार के खिलाफ? क्या है? हमने द्विगुना त्रिगुना एमएसपी बढ़ा, उसके वजह से बीजेपी के खिलाफ है क्या? एनडीएफ के खिलाफ है क्या? हमने सब्सिडी ज्यादा दे रहा है, उसके वजह से है क्या? 0% इंटरेस्ट में लोन देता है किसानों को, उसके खिलाफ है क्या? किसके खिलाफ है? कुछ अराजकवादी शक्ति भारत को तोड़ने के लिए कोशिश करता है, उसका पीछे कांग्रेस भी है और भारत विरोधी शक्ति भी है।
सर, यहाँ पे जल्द हुआ था, उसके बारे में क्या?
यादगिरी पीएसआई परशुराम चलवादी, किसके वजह से उन्हें आत्महत्या किया? कारण करप्शन, पैसा। कांग्रेस पार्टी लूट रहा है, टकाटक पैसा के लिए परेशान करता है, उसके लिए जिंदगी छोड़ा है परशुराम। केवल होम मिनिस्टर नहीं, कांग्रेस को हटाना। केवल होम मिनिस्ट्री को हटाएगा तो परिस्थिति नहीं बदलेगा, कांग्रेस को हटाएगा तो परिस्थिति बदलेगा।
Shifting focus to the world-famous Amarnath Yatra, to improve the pilgrimage experience for women particularly, the Housing and the Urban Development Department, or the HUD as it is known as, has introduced special pink toilets. Yes, that's right, pink toilets, equipped with sanitary pad vending machines at prominent locations of Srinagar and Jammu for the Sri Amarnath Ji Yatra. The pink toilets, fully equipped with modern facilities, will ensure that sanitary accessories are always available for women, eliminating the fear of stockouts. The incinerators, on the other hand, will provide a clean and eco-friendly disposal facility by burning the waste, thereby maintaining cleanliness along the Yatra route and reducing waste. Here's a report.
वो बहुत ही अच्छा है हाइजीन के लिए, लाइक लेडीज़ के लिए। अभी जो नेचुरल में पॉल्यूशन जितना बढ़ गया है ना, इससे ज़्यादा लाइक कम हो जाएगा, और लेडीज़ के लिए तो बहुत ही अच्छा है कि हम जो यूज़ करते हैं पेड़ वो लाइक डिस्ट्रॉय हो जाए, और लाइक नेचुरल के लिए भी अच्छा है, और हमारे लिए भी अच्छा है कि कहीं पे भी गंदगी फैलाओ, यहाँ कुत्ता खाए या कुछ भी कहीं पे भी लाइक इधर उधर मत फेंकना। ये बहुत अच्छा है HUDD की पहली बार ये सुविधा उपलब्ध हुई है।
Let's zoom out to the world now. The Prime Minister of Bangladesh has been ousted from power and she has fled the country. The picture of Bangladesh is very dramatic at the moment. Yesterday was a very dramatic day for Bangladesh, and that's putting it mildly. The army has taken over the country. Protesters have stormed the Prime Minister's official residence. They've taken over the capital, Dhaka. Hasina has had to flee from her own country, a country that her father helped liberate from Pakistan, a country that she helped build. Yesterday, she landed in India in the northeastern Indian state of Tripura. Sheikh Hasina came with her sister, and then a few hours later, they arrived at an airport near New Delhi. India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval has met Hasina there. You'll appreciate that this is an evolving situation, so there are new developments on this every minute. Hasina's plan is not clear at the moment. She is said to have applied for asylum in the UK. Until then, she might stay in India. On the current situation in Bangladesh, Dr. Iraj Elahi says, and I quote, Bangladesh is an important country in the region. It is a big Muslim country. Iran has traditional relations with Bangladesh. What happened in Bangladesh has raised our concerns about the lives of the people and this country's stability and the region's stability. If there is no peace or stability in Bangladesh, then it will affect all the regions. We hope that very soon we will witness stability and the rule of law in Bangladesh. Here's a detailed report.
Is continued, and recently we have witnessed a terrorist operation inside Iran, assassination of the leader of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh, who was an official guest in Iran, was assassinated by Israel. The trend is escalating, the situation is escalating, deteriorate, and the situation is deteriorate. Daily we are witnessing the number of casualty, innocent people who are killed is increased, more than 40,000. This is not just a figure. This is the life of people. 40,000 lives have been lost. So it's not just a figure like other figures. More than 90,000 people have been wounded. All the Palestinians in Gaza have been displaced. They have no safe place. Even the shelters and tents of refugees and displaced people are targeted by Israel.
Today is Tuesday Pro Max. There's just too much happening in our world. The pictures are very dramatic and I'm afraid the consequences will be even more so. In West Asia, Israel is waiting for an attack from Iran that will most likely come to date. Basically, more war. Shifting focus to the Middle East, Secretary of State Antony Blinken has reportedly told his counterparts from the G7 nations that Iran could attack Israel anytime now. Secretary Blinken further said that both Iran and its Lebanon-based proxy Hezbollah will retaliate together. The attack will be in response to the killing of Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh in Iran and Hezbollah commander Fouad Shukr in Lebanon last week. Israel has only claimed responsibility for the strike in Lebanon and has refused to comment on Haniyeh's killing. Now, the foreign ministers of the G7 countries have tried to apply diplomatic pressure on Iran, Hezbollah and Israel by urging them to lower tensions and engage constructively towards de-escalation. Meanwhile, another media report says that Israel may consider launching a preemptive strike to deter Iran and prevent an attack on Israeli soil. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is uncertain about what to expect from Iran and its proxies. He's asked Israel's top intelligence agencies to work with US intelligence and to confirm if Iran will in fact launch an attack on its own. I know, not many light-hearted moments today, but let's end on a funny note. What do you think every politician needs? Now, every expert will tell you different things, but one quality remains constant, and that is communication skills. You must explain complicated things to your voters. You must break it down for them. Or if you're Kamala Harris, confuse them. That's right. You've been listening to some of her speeches lately, and explainers are not really her thing. So tonight, we are bringing to you Kamala GPT, our very own AI experiment with the US Vice President, where she answers questions like, what is inflation? How important is diplomacy? And how crucial is time management? Over the world, international journalists and commentators have been mocking what's being called Vice President Kamala Harris's incoherent word salad message about inflation during a recent address. Ms. Harris said families are dealing with the reality of bread and fuel costing more. Mr. Plummer, a renowned US journalist, went public on air and said, I'm quoting him here, I can't blame Joe Biden for looking so dazed and confused for once, because I kind of was too, trying to understand what the US Vice President was trying to say. Some context here. Joe Biden is all but gone, but his word salads remain a fixture in the White House, with his Vice President and Democratic nominee Kamala Harris also falling victim to humiliating mumbles and stumbles. So tonight, we take a look at Kamala Harris's latest embarrassing gaffes and ask, is she the real spark of energy that the Democrats need to win this election? Or is she just Joe Biden 2.0? Be ready to be dazzled by the power of AI.
Culture of the environment. How are we approaching this issue in a way that we also understand we cannot support and help our young people if we also don't also look at the context in which those young people live and are being raised, which means necessarily, because our edict and our mission is not to come out and say, well, we could do this better. Part of the extension of the work you will do is, yes, focused on our young leaders and our young people, but understanding we also then have to be clear about the needs of their parents and their grandparents and their teachers and their communities. Because none of us just live in a silo. Everything is in context. My mother she would give us a hard time sometimes, and she would say to us, I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you. So all of this is part of the work of this group of extraordinary leaders who will help inform and advise how we think about our work. And like the Secretary said, give us feedback, give us counsel, give us direction in how we best achieve our mission. Doing it in a way that we fully understand the challenges and the opportunities. And so with that, it is my great honor to swear you in as members of the President's Advisory Commission on Advancing Educational Equity, Excellence, and Economic Opportunity for Hispanics. Please rise, and I'm going to administer the oath.
Very testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests in understanding the significance of diplomacy and strengthening alliances. This is an incredible day. This have gone up, and families.
Joe Biden is all but gone, but his word salads remain a fixture in the White House, with his VP and Democratic nominee Kamala Harris also falling victim to humiliating mumbles and stumbles. Take a look at Harris's latest embarrassing gaffes and ask, is she the spark of energy the Democrats need? Or is she word salads were the beginning of his undoing? Constant videos of gaffes filling our social media feeds created distrust in his ability.
And that's a wrap for this episode of World Primetime News. Feels good to come to the end of it with a smile, doesn't it? Thank you for making CVR English nationwide strong. We are counting on you for your support, and you can trust us to bring you a view on the world, unfiltered and unvarnished. This is Anukriti Sharma signing off. Keep watching CVR English.